Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another special energy update here from quantumplanet.world or QPW. I am, of course, David, one of your navigators, and
I'm Bella Alvaran. Welcome back.
all right, everybody. So we're just going to take maybe around 15-20 minutes today to share with you some announcements, but also just to give a quick energy update on how we see the energy patterns progressing over this next couple of weeks. We have, as always, been sharing our thoughts through the Mayan time wave technology, but also looking at the 3D laying out of the astrology through the Western tropical system, all of which you can see in our most recent quantum compass, where we actually did a deep dive into the very powerful Ceres Cazimi, which, if you were watching that, will actually have laid out many things that have already come to pass even since we did that episode, right, Bella?
So, as we all know, the energy has accelerated and it will continue to do so. So, what we've been called to do is to put together something that will help us all navigate this very accelerated time. Right now, we're in the wave spell of the wind and we're hearing truths, some of them uncomfortable truths. But more than anything, revelations, disclosure, things that are going to touch different areas of our life, the economic life, the political life, healthcare, finances, all of them are now here to reveal everything that wasn't working anymore. The systems that we need to change, and we need to get on board with many things, but not only to follow whoever is leading this, we have a say on all of these. And this is our initiative. We as a tribe, we as a group, many of you are front runners and have been doing your spiritual work for a long time. So this is a very important moment to come together and put our ideas in the quantum field so we can create as a unit.
Right, so we're calling this video something along the lines of the move to unity consciousness. And if you've been following us for a while or seeing a lot of the output that we've had over the last, we can say 2.5 weeks, it's because we're tracking the ether castle of this Tzolkin that we're in. And ether is, of course, the fifth element. It's the manifestation energy. And so we started a series of new processes on QPW, we the Cosmic Humans, and QPW Mayan Glyphant, all of which are progressing very, very fast and very well. But really the overall emphasis that came to us and why we were guided to initiate that during the wave spell of the red magnetic moon, which is all about flow through the ether energy, was to come to this place of creating a unified collective consciousness field. Now, because of the work that we've been doing with the Tzolkin and the Mayan time wave technology, because of Bella's Mayan lineages, a whole bunch of different things, we've been gifted really a vision, we can say, of how to bring together 260 different souls, each carrying one of those different glyphs and tones, which is the entire 13 times 20 Tzolkin calendar. That's going really, really well. We've been giving some updates on that. Again, if you're hearing this for the first time, we want to point you to the videos we've already put out. We the galactic citizens, we the creators, it's all part of the same energy flow, which is really about how we as the collective are elevating our consciousness to, first of all, a more eagle's perch perspective, which we'll talk about in a minute a bit more, which is the fifth dimension, but then really moving into the heart consciousness, that conjoined Christed consciousness, we can say, of the sixth dimension and above. And this is really the place that we are moving into collectively. But at the same time, we're living in a very still polarized, dualistic world. And if we're still getting polarized or thrown left and right, this person good, this person bad, like not, then we're still in that dualistic polarized space, which is fine. It's part of the experience and the journey to be here. But as we move through these accelerated times, it's going to be more challenging to be still getting triggered, being polarized. And there are tools to deal with that, all of which we've shared many times before. But something really powerful happened a couple of weeks ago, which we did talk about on one of our shows, which was the double whammy of first the Yeshua Cazimi and then the Pluto Cazimi. Both happened at a very important moment in the collective expression of the energy that's hitting the planet, which is part of the ascension process. And in that moment, the underworld got cleansed with sunlight, with the energy of Yeshua, of the Christ consciousness, in conjunction with the Lord of the underworld, Hades, who was happy to let sunlight into the roots of the tree of the toroidal field, which we'll talk about in a minute too. But what really happened in this realm that we have witnessed now with the speeding up of the days of the time is that we very excitedly got reconnected again properly to the universal time wave technology of the rest of the universe.
Right. And so the initiative that we're going to talk about different things here, but just to wrap up the first part, the initiative of putting together the 260 energies or galactic signatures is similar to bring in our own sound, to bring in our own energy and putting it in a beautiful melody of 260 notes or 260 signatures, which are the basis of creation. So if you want to be part of this, it's free to join. You can come to our website, just come to the main group and say, I want to be part of this, and we'll help you put your galactic signature there. So that is one of the initiatives. The second part we want to talk about is...
So the second part really is just an addendum to that, but it's also really important. We, the Cosmic Humans, is an initiative that we are now doing every Sunday with a group call where we are putting forwards questions. We can say philosophical, existential questions, but also multi-dimensional questions about how we, the creators, we, the humans, we, the Cosmic Humans, want our new Earth to look moving forward. Do we want to be bringing the old systems from the old paradigm, the Matrix, with us, or do we want to start thinking for ourselves from a higher perspective, from a non-dual perspective from above, looking down into the earthly realms and saying, now is our chance to do things differently. But in order to do things differently, we cannot be sat on our sofas waiting for a savior to show up. So we have been guided in our tribe to take the initiative to really call all of our brothers and sisters, those of you that follow us here on YouTube and or who are already involved in our QPW tribe or our QPH tribe, to come together each week to pose questions that we then meditate on, and we send as a collective intention into the noosphere, which is the collective mind, we can say, or grids, the crystalline grid of planet Earth, the original grid. So those are the two initiatives. This is not the scope of today's video really, but they are part of what we're about to share. We're inviting all of you who hear that call to come and be a part of the Tzolkin bingo card, as we're calling it, trying to light up 260 different glyphs, because in those 260 glyphs on the Tzolkin, we believe we have the permutations of every single interaction and resource that we would need as a conjoined unity consciousness template. Okay.
For creation and
for creation, for manifestation, but it does require us to, first of all, be working with our divine essence, to have an idea of who we are, not just as a three-dimensional person, but as a multi-dimensional being. And there are a series of initiations and courses and pathways that we've been sharing for a long time on QPW as a series of initiations to help you get to that place. However, as we were finishing our Heaven on Earth course over Christmas, and as we moved into the final chapter, working with ether, with the fifth element, which coincidentally and synchronistically happened to conclude just before we started this ether green castle, all of which is again working with synchronized time, we were guided to put together the mystical column, the teachings of the three trees. And this is really, really important because it's working with certain time technology, manifesting through the incredible wisdom and intelligence and heart consciousness of three very powerful tree beings.
Right. And what these trees are here to do, we have already worked with the yew tree and with the oak tree, and the ash tree was part of our very latest Heaven on Earth course. So what these trees are here to teach us and help us do is to align and activate our toroidal field and to be attuned and aligned, so that when we come to do the exercises as a collective, trying to create something and putting the information into the quantum field, we are attuned, we are aligned, we know what we're doing, and we're coming in a harmonious resonance to be part of a collective.
Right, so we've just put a few slides here together, which we won't take too long because we want to keep this video relatively short. But as always, when we're doing these immersions or journeys with trees and plants, we are nearly always guided to do them over a 13-day period, which is commensurate with a 13-day wave spell. We are now into the second wave spell of this final castle of the year, which is 4 wave spells equaling 52 days. We've talked about this a lot before, but this is a really important moment that we're about to enter, because the penultimate wave spell of any Tzolkin is the blue eagle. And the blue eagle really represents the eagle's perch perspective. It's the ascended scorpionic energy of non-duality, which is kind of essential to understand how not to get polarized in duality. So maybe you just want to share a couple of notes about this, why this wave spell, which starts on February the 27th and runs to March the 11th, right?
Right. So when it comes to the Tzolkin, the last castle, the green castle, has 4 wave spells, and they take us to a journey of 52 days. And it's a very important moment of culmination and integration of what we have done up to now. And so the first wave spell with the red moon was going to trigger our emotions and ask us to purify and connect to the cycles and remember what we're meant to be doing. And then the current one, the white wind, is going to bring lots of truth, lots of information. And that's why going into the Blue Eagle, we need to have a higher perspective. We need to be 5D and not to sink into more of these limiting beliefs or heavy emotions or density, so that by the last wave spell, which is the yellow star, we can reconnect to the stars and spark our inner light.
Right, and as you work with this time wave technology more and more, as we have done and many of our tribe have done, you start to pick up on some of the more subtle nuances of how this all works, how one energy of one wave spell beautifully rolls into the next. And why is it that as we're heading to the end of the Tzolkin, the penultimate wave spell is working with 5D consciousness, and then the very last wave spell is to work with our star consciousness, our star seed essence, which would seem to be, to me anyway, the perfect way to conclude a 260-day process. And then the Tzolkin starts again, and we move into the energy of working with the dragons, the primordial lines, and so on and so forth. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. We have been guided to release this very important 13-day journey called the Teachings of the Three Trees, or the Mystical Column.
Yes. So the Blue Eagle is also inviting us to work as a group, as a collective, because it's connected to the archetype of the birds, the high mind. So it's going to invite us to work with the planetary grid, which we will do over 13 days. You're all invited to join us. It's donation basis, so everybody can join. But we are going to work with our higher collective mind. So it's the first exercise of how to work for a whole wave spell together in a group. And it's also an archetype and an energy that is inviting us to tap into our compassion and our service for all and service for the planet.
Right, beautifully said, Bella. And as you can see here from the little bit of text we put, it is about working with our higher selves, working with our divine mind within, and really getting to understand, if we haven't already embarked on this journey, more about our true holistic nature, our true galactic nature, our eternal nature, our heavenly nature, and how it relates to us down here in our earthly existence. So, as Bella said, this is very much, as always, with these journeys, there is a collective container. Everybody who is participating with us in that container is contributing to that collective divine mind. And when we have lots of people doing that, we can generate, first of all, a very powerful imprint, which will be sent into the ethers of the collective noosphere, as we've always done with our immersions, but also allows the individual to receive the wisdom, in this case, not only of the Blue Eagle, but also of the mystical column.
And you learn to connect to your higher self and how it is from a 5D perspective that you can manifest into 3D in a more efficient way.
Right. So there are a number of different aspects to this, and we're calling it the mystical column, the teaching of the three trees, because it's really a fusion of many things, but essentially a fusion of the Mayan time wave technology, which here on the left we can see the Tzolkin. This is our 260 different glyph permutations, which we are rapidly filling up through different members of our tribe, contributing to this process. We're now almost at the halfway point. And what we understand is that when all of this board is lit up with 260 like-minded people coming together, meeting each other through their essence, we have the template of that unified consciousness field, which, if it's fractaled out across the planet because it's embedded into the noosphere, will automatically, through quantum entanglement, start to take effect. It's a lofty aspiration, but I feel it's completely achievable. And we've been gifted really this opportunity with this immersion to invite as many of you into a space to share with us together, so that you can get to experience what it's like to be operating with this technology. It's also being fused with the energy of 3 very powerful wise beings, which we'll get to in a minute, the 3 trees. And it also taps into our own cosmic cosmology through the stellar nations, working with a number of our different off-planet ancestors, or brothers and sisters, we can say.
Good.
You want to say anything more about the mystical column, Bella? Or?
So, just to clarify, because we're given here two different sets of information. One is the invitation to join the mystical column immersion that is going to last 13 days, starting on the 27th of February, and that is the Blue Eagle wave spell. And the other invitation is to join this map of creation with the Tzolkin. If you want to bring your galactic signature into it, and we connect every Sunday to talk about different ideas and innovation.
Right. So the important thing here to conjoin these two pieces, as Bella said, is that really when we look at the mystical column, we see the layout of a toroidal field, and the mystical column is the center point, which is really the trunk of the world tree. So we're going to be explaining a lot more about this in a lot more detail, because maybe if you're not familiar with this information, it might be like, what's that all about? Well, we want to call it the teachings of the three trees. And this is really working with three very, very special trees. I'm sure many of you will know them through personal work, or maybe from having done immersions with us before, but we're calling it the world tree trinity. We have on the left the yew, we have in the middle the oak, and on the right we have the ash. Each one of these has a particular affinity to connecting to time, whatever we perceive time to be. So this is just a very quick run through, because we're going to be going into all of these trees in more detail. But really, when we connect to the tree of eternity, the yew, we're connecting to all that is, the interconnected nature of the universe manifested in us through our own you essence. So we're connecting to our eternal selves. This is the oldest living being on the planet, apparently more than 260 million years old. It has seen everything that this planet and probably every other planet in the universe has to offer.
And is directly connected to our spirit, which is infinite as well.
Right. Then we talk about the tree of the three doors. This is the symbol of the Druids, the oak, and the three doors really are connecting us to the middle world here on planet Earth, through the roots into the lower world and the inner world of Mother Earth, and through the branches, more importantly, connecting to our cosmic or galactic selves. And of course, the oak tree really represents, better than any other being, I think, the ability to hold a perfect toroidal field, to hold space for oneself, but also in the case of the oak, to hold space for other beings too. All of which is part of the kingly nature or grandfather nature of the oak. Again, we'll be getting into this in more detail during the immersion. And then the third tree in this sequence is perhaps the more feminine one, we can say, which is the ash tree, otherwise known in the Norse and Celtic traditions as Yggdrasil. Now, in many ways, Yggdrasil is a blueprint for the world tree, but each one of these trees is giving us a different skin through the wisdom of these beings, which we can have in our own toroidal field, to understand how we can work with the blueprint energy that each of these trees wants to share with us.
The way we want to present it is a way of aligning our body, soul, and spirit in the here, in the now, bringing our higher self for this moment of the big shift, of the big collective awakening, so we can be pillars of light, holding the energy for many as the mass awaken and as we do the final shift into new earth.
Right. So the final slide I really just want to share here is, this is Yggdrasil as mapped out in the Norse traditions, and really what we're looking at here is the same blueprint or pictures or symbology being represented here in different cultures at different points on different timelines. Because in essence, Yggdrasil is the Kabbalah, the world tree, the tree of life, which is how we connect from our earthly roots and lower chakras up our central channel to our crown chakra, to our soul star chakra, and then beyond to the universe.
And the tree teachings and the tree of life teachings are part of many different cultures. It is part of the Mayan with the ceiba tree, where they had 13 heavens and 9 underworlds. It is part of the Nordic tradition. It is part of many different cultures, because the information was left there as part of mythology for us to decode and be able to integrate it at this moment.
Right, and so when we're talking about the Yeshua and Pluto Cazimis, what we're looking at here is what traditionally were called the Hell Realms or the lower world. They're really essentially the roots of the tree, and the tree is the toroidal field, both of us as individuals, of the trees themselves, and at the fractal level, of course, of Mother Earth. That is the beauty of fractal living, fractal existing, fractal being, is that we can see the same thing replicated all over the place. And so the trees are showing us how to live with that fully functioning toroidal field that we talked a lot about in the Rainbow Bridge when we worked with the yew, but it's giving us more detail now. It's giving us a clearer perspective, and we can see here on this beautiful image on the right-hand side, we can see the eagle sat on his perch at the top of the tree.
Yeah.
From his fifth dimensional perspective, we can see the messenger of the yew tree, the squirrel, and many other beings that are very much associated with this mythology. But this mythology, really, including the rainbow bridge we can see here, which we'll talk more about, is a blueprint to activate our higher mind consciousness and beyond.
Yeah, the journey of ascension is a journey of expanding our consciousness, raising our vibration, and being able to hold our higher self energy here in 3D. So that's part of the training, part of the preparation. If you feel the call to be part of a collective, to be part of the creation of New Earth, everybody's energy count. We all have something special to share, and every single note in that melody is going to be important.
Right, so really, we just wanted to give a very brief overview. We could talk a lot about all of these things, but this is going to be the domain of the 13-day journey. We will be following the same format that we've done in other immersions. Each day, Bella will be giving the daily mind glyph meditation, which help give us the focus for that day within the 13-day sequence. There will be a series of teachings from both of us, but also we'll be inviting some of our tribal favorites back. Our brother and co-host of Web of Weird, Pete Jackson Main, will be joining us to talk about the quantum plant intelligence of each of these three different trees, the yew, the oak, and the ash. We'll also have our wonderful friend and teacher and guide from the Stellar Nations pathway, Leslie Shankman, taking us into the energy of the male serpents, the Kabbalah, the Melchizedek line, and how this relates to our own energy fields.
To understand more the tree of life.
To understand more the tree of life, yeah. So this is how we're showing how we can connect to these different mythologies, cultural belief systems, but really what we're connecting to is an energetic blueprint system. So the most important thing that we want to share, you can find this page on our website, quantumplanet.world, by going to expeditions and clicking there, and you'll see this come up. But what we want to share with all of you is that we have been guided to offer this on a standard rate of $118 for the course, but also because we know that these are tough times, we've been guided to offer this on a donation basis. I.e., please, if you feel the call to join us for this, please pay with whatever your hearts and purses allow you to at this moment. We want as many people to participate as possible, with all blockages, obstructions removed as much as possible, because we know from having done immersions before, like the Artemisia immersion, when we had over 100 people, we had the 100th monkey effect. So we want to have a very powerful container. And if you've never done any of this work before, you've never worked with the Mayan time wave technology, this is the perfect opportunity to jump in and see how we've been working with it as a tribe, not just in immersions, but in our daily lives as well, right, Bella?
And it's a beautiful experience to be able to journey for 13 days and feel the synchronicities. It's a perfect opportunity to learn to work with the Mayan cosmology. And to do it as a group is really powerful, and you'll get to experience how it is done. Over the period of 13 days, you probably just need to set aside probably about an hour of the day for your meditation and for the connection. There will be 3 live calls with the group. And the rest of the time, there are pre-recorded interviews that you can watch at your own time.
Right, that's thank you, Bella, for saying all of that. Yeah, as always, there are the 3 live calls, and then there are the pre-recorded elements. So even if you miss the live calls because of time zone difficulties, work commitments, etc., it doesn't matter. We record every single thing. And so from the moment that we open the space on the first day of the journey, of the wave spell, of the immersion, we're all being held in that energetic space, which beautifully this time is being held by the yew, the oak, and the ash. All of this immersion is taking place inside the very trunk of the world tree itself. It's actually where we've held all of our courses in immersions. It's our tribal sacred energetic space, and we were always guided to hold that space in the center of the world tree. That's how important all of this is. So I think that's it really, right, Bella, for now. We didn't want to take too much time, but this is a transmission. It's a call. If you are wanting to get activated into your cosmic human Jedi selves, into your multidimensional nature, working with all aspects of yourself, your toroidal field, your connection to the tree beings, to the cosmos, to the rest of yourself, to your soul being, then this is the call for you. And we want to invite as many of you into this space together, because this is a very powerful moment as we come to the end of this Tzolkin, and in a couple of months, the end of this blue storm year. If we're reading the energy flow correctly, we understand that this is the moment where we can really strike forth as collective unified consciousness together.
Yeah, this is the moment to be strong, to be aligned, just like the trees is teaching us. This is the moment to hold the energy and to be in the right place at the right time to hold the collective grid for this final shift.
Right, there's a lot more to share about all of this, including what Bella's just said, which is connecting to the earthly grid and how we connect nodal points. And of course, we have a tribe that literally spans the entire planet. Even on our global tribe glyph map at the moment, we have something like 25 different countries represented, ranging from New Zealand all the way across to Hawaii. So we're really covering the whole planet here. And that's a big shout out to all of you who support our work, support our videos, and what we are doing here as beings ourselves. We're on our own mission to support this process and inviting all of you that hear this call to step into this process with us so that we, the people, are we the cosmic humans, and we, the cosmic humans, are we the creators.
So welcome to our website. You can join from now, and the group is growing very quickly.
The group is growing. If you have any questions, please do pop them in the comments. If you enjoyed this short video, thank you very much. Please do hit like and subscribe as we continue our ongoing development with YouTube and our platform here. So thank you everybody for listening. Hope to see you on the immersion, but most of all, hope to see you in the ethers as part of our collective unified field.
Yes. In Lakesh.
In Lakesh. Bye for now.